determine A inverse, product of A inverse with the transpose of the same matrix. So we can start with the easy part. We can determine this inverse, the transpose part, because it's just converting. Since this is our A matrix, we can find its transpose. To transpose is to change the rows into columns. So AT is equals to, we'll have 2, then 3, then 5, then 4, 1, 6, we have 1, 4, 0, like that. So we have found the transpose. So we go to the inverse of the matrix. So for inverse of matrix A, we have the formula inverse of matrix A equals to adjoint of the matrix, the adjoint of the matrix A divided by the determinant. We have the determinant of the matrix. So the adjoint is the transpose of the matrix, of which transpose is the conversion from rows to columns. So we can recopy our matrix here. We have matrix A, which was 2, 3, 5, we have 4, 1, 6, then we have 1, 4, and 0. This is our 3 by 3 matrix. 3 by 3, that means 3 rows, 3 columns. So to find the inverse of a matrix, let's first determine the easy part, the determinant. We'll use green color. So determinant, the determinant of this matrix, we can select any row. Let's take the first row. We'll have 2. Then when you cover this part and this one, this and this one, then we remain with 1, 6, 4, 0. So we'll have 1, 6, 4, 0, then minus 3. Then when you cover this row and this column, we'll have 4, 6, 1, 0, 4, 6, 1, 0. Then added to, we have 5, 5. Then when you cover this row, this column, this row, this column, we'll have 4, 1, 1, 4, like that. So this will be equal to 2. Then we find the determinant of the 2 by 2 matrix. So it is 1 times 0, which is 0. We have 6 times minus 6 times 4, this is 24. 24, let me erase here. So we have 24, like that, minus 3. 4 times 0, it is 0, minus 6, added to 5 into 4 times 4, that is 16, minus 1, which will be equal to 2 times 0 minus 24, it is negative 24, then minus 3 into negative 6 plus 5 into 15. So we'll have equals to, yes, we would have negative 48, then negative, this is negative 18, so it is positive 18, then positive 5 times 15, that is 75, which will give us 45. So that is our determinant. You can select any row. So we have found the determinant. This part is done. So we have to find the adjoint of the matrix. So the adjoint, I recopy the matrix here using a different color. So our matrix A was equals to 2, 3, 5, and then 4, 1, 6, then 1, 4, 0. So first we find the cofactors of the matrix. These are the cofactors of the matrix. So for first row, we'll say for row 1, I will use black for row 1. So we will have 2. For 2, when you block this and this row and this column, we have 4, 6, 4, 1, 6, 4, 0. So 1, 6, 4, 0. Then we get 1 times 0, it is 0, minus 6 times 4, 24, which will give us negative 24. Then we have 3. Find the cofactor for 3. When you block this and this, we have 4, 6, 1, 0. So we will have 4, 6, 1, 0, which will give us 4 times 0, it is 0, minus 6 times 1, 6, which is negative 6. Then we proceed to 5. Block this and this, we have 4, 1, 1, 4. So for 5, we have 4, 1, 1, 4, which will give you 4 times 4 is 16, minus 1, which is 15. So we are done with the first row. We proceed to the second row where we have 4, 1, 6. So for second row, let me add a page here. So for row number 2, for row number 2, if you have copied, we have 4, 1, 6. So use a different color. We will have 4. For 4, we have 3, 5, 3540 like that. This will give us 3 times 0, it is 0 minus 20, which is negative 20. Then we have 1 for 1 will block this column, and this row we have 2 5 1 0. So we'll have 2 5 1 0, which will give us 2 times 0 0 minus 5, which is negative 5. Then we proceed to 6. Log this and this, 2 3 1 4. So for 6 we have 2 3 1 4, which will give us 2 times 4, this is 8 minus 3, which is 5. Okay, so this gives us negative 20, negative 5 and 5. Then we complete the third row. We have the row number 3 1 4 and 0. So we'll have row number 3. So for row number 3 we have 1 4 8 0. We'll use a different color. So for 1 we'll have, let me write the matrix here again. So we have 2 3 5, we have 4 1 6, we have 1 4 0. Okay, so for this third row we block this and this, will remain with 3 5 1 6. So we have 3 5 1 6, which will give us 3 times 6, this is 18 minus 5 times 1. We multiply the leading diagonal minus the second diagonal, so we have 13. Then we have 4, so for 4 we block this and this, we remain with 2 5 4 6. So we have 2 5 4 6, which gives 2 times 6, this is 12 minus 20. This one will give you, so you can use your calculator. We have negative 8. Okay, sorry for this. So we have negative 8. Then for 0, don't assume the 0, you must do the 0. For 0, when you block this and this, we have 4 1 1 4. For 0 we have 4 1 1 4. So this will give us 16 minus 1, this is 15. So replace each element. For in place of 2 we place negative 24, in place of 3 we place negative 6 and 15, like that. So we will have negative 24, negative 6, 15 for the first row, then negative 20, negative 5 5 for the second row, then 13, negative 8, 15, is this 15, 13, negative 8, and 15. Let me confirm. So sorry for this part. We had 2, 3, 4, 1. So I will erase. So we have 2, 3, 4, 1. So that this one we can remove 2 times 1. This is 2 minus 12, which gives us negative 10. So when we form the matrix, we'll have the matrix which is negative 24, negative 24, negative 6, 15. We have negative 20, negative 5, we have 5, 13, negative 8, and negative 10, like this. Then next, before we find the transpose, we multiply by the sign matrix, which is positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, then positive, negative, positive, like that. So we multiply each element by its sign. So this, for example, this will be multiplied by this one by the negative, like that, then negative 20, so that we get the matrix negative 24, negative 24, then negative 6 will give us 6, then positive 15, we have positive 15, then 20 will be affected, will be positive, negative 5 times positive is negative 5, 5 times this is negative 5, 13 is positive 13, then negative 8 is 8, then positive is negative 10. Okay, so that is your matrix after multiplying with the sign. So now we find the cofactor, matrix of the cofactors. Let me write here, matrix of cofactors. So the matrix of the cofactors is this matrix now, negative 24, then we have 6, 15, 20, negative 5, negative 5, 13, 8, and negative 10. Yes, like that. Now we find the transpose of this matrix. So the transpose of the matrix A, the transpose is now will be, we convert this row into a column such that we have negative 24, 24, then we have 6, then we have 15, then also the second row to be a column, so we have 20, we have negative 5 and negative 5, then the last row to be a column will have 13, 8 and negative 10. So this is the transpose of the matrix. So we get to determine the inverse of the matrix. So for the inverse, now here we find the inverse of the matrix. So I'm using a mouse. It is a little challenging to write. So we say the inverse of the matrix is the adjoint of the matrix A divided by the determinant. So the adjoint is the transpose. So this one will be, the determinant is an reciprocal, so it is 1 over, we found the determinant to be 45. Then our transposed matrix was negative 24, 20, 13, then we have 6, negative 5 and 8, then we have 15, negative 5 and negative 10, like that. So that is our inverse matrix. But remember, the question said determine the product of the inverse and the transpose. Now we have the transpose and we have the inverse, which we have just calculated. So let's say the product, we are now finding the product here. Let's look for the product. I think black color is the best, so we have to multiply the inverse with the transpose. So we have, let's isolate this 1 over 45 first. We calculate negative 24, 20, 20 and 13, like that. Then 6, negative 5, 8, 15, negative 5, negative 10. Then we multiply with the transpose. What was our transpose? It was 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 0. So we have to multiply this. Well, to multiply a 3 by 3 matrix, you will do the row and each and every column, one row and all the columns, like that. So we'll use the sky blue color. So we have the first part, let me say part 1, we have equals to negative 24 times the 2, let's put in a bracket, added to 20 times 3, 20 times 3, added to 13 times 5, 13 times 5, I think that is where we are, 13 times 5. Then second part, this row and the second column, which is negative 24, negative 24 times 4, in this fashion, added to 20 20 times 1 plus 13 times 6, like that. Then we have negative 24 times the last column times 1 plus 20 times 4 added to 13 times 0. So what is our answer? So negative 24 times 2, that is negative 48, plus this 60, we get plus 13 times 5, so you use a calculator, you will get 77. Then the next one, negative 24 times 4 plus 20 times 1 plus 13 times 6, you will get 2. Then 24, negative 24 times 1 plus this will give you 56. Will give you 56. So we have completed the first row and all the columns. We get to the second row and all the columns. So we will have let me say part 2. We will have the first section, which is 6 times 2, which is 6 times 2 added to negative 5 times 3, okay, added to 8 times 5 equals to next row, the same row, 6 times the second column, 6 times 4. So we have 6 times 4 added to negative 5 times 1, negative 5 times 1 added to 8 times 6. Then the last, we have 6, follow closely, so it is 6 times 1, 6 times 1, then we have negative 5 times 4 added to 8 times 0. Now in this first case, the answer, if you calculate, you will get 37. Then the second one will get 67, and then we will get negative 14. Now we proceed to this row and all the columns. You follow the green, the row and the columns. We have 15 times 2, negative 5 times 3, negative 10 times 5, then x like that. So I will do that first. Part 3 we will have 15 times 2 added to negative 5 times 3 added to negative 10 times 5. So next we begin 15 times, we are multiplying 15, now the second column times 4, then negative 5 times 1, negative 10 times 6. So it is 15 times 4 added to negative 5 times 4 added to it is negative 5 times 1, not 4. Okay, be careful. Times 1. Yes, negative 5 times 1, and we have negative 10 times 6. Then last column is 15 times 15 times 1 added to negative 5 times negative 5 times 4, then added to negative 10 times 0. So this one you will get, you are supposed to get negative 35. Then this one you are supposed to get negative 5. Then this one you are supposed to get negative 5. Now we have to create a matrix. So this part, this colored part, will form the first row. Just to do that so that you don't get confused. This will form the first row. Then this part will form the second row. This is the second row. Then this one will form the third row. It is as simple as that. So first row will have 77. Now let's just write complete. So A inverse times A transpose is 1 over the determinant of A 45. Then everything we have 77, we have 2, we have 50, 56, then we have 37, 67, and negative 14. Then we have negative 35, we have negative 5, and negative 5. So this is your answer. This is your complete answer. Also, you can write it in this format, which doesn't give any difference. 77 over 45, we have 2 over 45, then we have 56 over 45, then we have 30, sorry, this looks like an 8, so we have 37 over 45, we have 67 over 45, then we have negative 14 over 45, then you have negative 35 over 45. If you cancel this one, negative 35 over 45. This is like 7, this is like 9 if I'm not wrong. So we'll have a negative, negative 7 over 9. Then we have 5 here, will give us negative 1 over 9, that is 9, then negative 1 over 9, like that. So but it doesn't offer any difference. Even if you leave it like this, is correct, also this is correct. So now you can be sure to get your 8 marks like that.